Hi everyone, welcome to Digital Ideas. I'm Mike Yeomans and I'm joined by Cassidy Shields, who is the head of Alcatel-Lucent's Platforms Marketing. Thanks for joining us, Cassidy.
Thanks, Mike, for having me.
All right, let's talk about how we mobilize the data plan. Now, we know that LTE deployments scale and devices are becoming more powerful, and of course, no doubt mobile internet usage is rising, especially in my household, I would say. We know that one size just doesn't fit all, and plans should really meet individual needs and budgets. Now, I've got 2 teenage kids, and their plans, really should be tailored specifically to their needs. And by the way, their needs are vastly different from each other and from mine. And of course, I'm paying for these plans, so I've got a keen interest in what you've got to say here, Cassidy. Let's start with, so what are some of the key areas of the business side that service providers need to think about as they evolve to new mobile data plans?
Thanks, Mike. There's 3 areas that our customers need to think about with regard to their business strategy. 1 is the business model, 2 is the go-to-market, and 3 is the cultural change. And let me talk quickly about those. From a business model perspective, if data is the offer, the question is how do you turn data into a platform to drive usage versus restricting the user today? And if you think about usage going forward, it really comes in 3 ways. Usage per device, which is increasing the amount of usage I have from a day-to-day basis. It's the number of devices, and it's the number of users. And really, the combination of these 3 things are what maximizes data usage and in return maximizes data pricing and revenue. So a pricing strategy should focus on driving these 3 numbers higher. From a go-to-market perspective, if you really want to personalize services, our industry needs to figure out how to get out of I engage in either the store, on a website, or a call center, and move that engagement model to the device. The point of sale needs to become the device. And last, from a cultural perspective, likely the hardest change is what I've just mentioned is largely not done today by our industry. We don't think of pricing models in the context that I outlined. In some cases, we don't even have a realization that data is the driver. And from a go-to-market perspective, we certainly don't engage the consumer on the device. So making these changes will be difficult for our industry, but something I think we can do.
All right, so we covered what service providers should do or consider on the business side. But what about with respect to their networks?
So with the network, keeping in mind that in the digital economy, everything's being mobilized and moving to the device and moving to mobility. This will have impact on real-time reporting. It'll have impact on policy, on orchestration, on billing systems, on application development. And so what our customers need to keep in mind is that it's even more and more critical today to align these systems, to align policy with charging, align charging to analytics, and align this to how you're going to deliver the service and the capability that touches the consumer.
So what are key characteristics that service providers should look for in a solution that'll help them move to new mobile data plans, and why is that important?
Our approach focuses on 3 things the industry needs to keep in mind: how to simplify, how to personalize, and how to extend. So simplify is quite simply, how am I going to make mobile data more transparent, easier to understand, and easier to consume for my customer? The second is, how then am I going to personalize my services to give my customer what they want? And how am I going to do that engaging them on the device? And third is, once I've simplified and once I've personalized, how am I going to extend and build an ecosystem around my mobile data platform in order to bring third-party partners and advertisers to the table with the idea that sometime in the future, I as an end user may not even have to pay for my data plan.
Excellent points. I know this is definitely an interesting topic and one that we're clearly going to hear more and more about. Cassidy, thanks a lot for your time today.
Thanks, Mike, for having me. Appreciate it.
And that was Cassidy Shields, head of Alcatel-Lucent's Platforms Marketing. I'm Mike Yeomans. This has been Digital Ideas, and thanks for tuning in.